Aloha everyone and welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday! This is Merissa Indigo with Divine DNA Blueprint Mystery School, bringing you tips and wisdom and sharing my experiences of the quantum consciousness soul embodiment journey. Well, here we are for another massive week. It feels like every single day is a lifetime, right? With what we are witnessing and observing within ourselves and the different aspects of our consciousness. There's still a lot of subconscious purging going on. And we've entered into a new energy with the sun now being in the zodiac sign of Libra, the scales, the balance, the justice. So this is the quantum energy overview for the week of Monday, September 23rd through the 30th. We are just kind of coming out of the equinox, the eclipse of last week, and then we have an eclipse coming up next week. So these are definitely still the intense in-between world kind of energies. A lot can be coming up. You could still feel like that washing machine. Just so much to review, right? So much to choose to take action on or to not take action on at this time. It's really about using the lens of perception of clarity from the heart, from the soul energy of, is this highest aligned in this now? Whatever that would be, right? Any situation, any relationship, anything, you want to run it through that filter. Is this highest aligned? And you also want to really be aware of emotional reactivity because our emotions can be very strong. We have the 6-month period of Mars in Cancer, right, which brings a defensiveness to our emotional realm, more of a ferocity perhaps to our emotional realm. We're feeling things really strongly, perhaps really passionately. Some of these could be recurrent themes that in the past we didn't speak up for ourselves or take action on. So there could be a lot of pent up energy behind certain themes that you're witnessing right now. And it's just so important again to continue to apply that balance, working with the infinity loop, taking the energy side to side to side to side, and then coming back into the center. So using all of your practices and energetic clearing and grounding. It can be very easy to be very heady and mental with these energies because these are air elementals that we're working with. So the Virgo season of the last month was the Earth with Mercury, which is a lot of downloads, a lot of thinking, perhaps a lot of communicating. But now we have the air element as well as the planet Venus. And so you want to bring your focus back into this now moment, using your senses to take in the environment, right? And the energetic information as well that you're receiving at subtle levels, and continue to bring it back into beauty, into the beauty way, into harmony, whatever that means in every single moment. So one of the most major themes of this week that you're going to be noticing is some initiations for transformation or a revolution of your value of yourself, your relationships, your finances and your wealth, your financial or monetary value. So your stock is going up and you may not be seeing that in the external reality yet. You may have opportunities to discuss this if you're up for, let's say, a promotion at work or making a decision, I'm not valued at work, or should I communicate about not feeling valued in work, relationships, anything that has to do with your own values, these new earth, new paradigm values of self-respect, self-love, and self-honoring. It's going to become very challenging to go with the status quo at this point if that is contrasting or feeling like a compromise of your own integrity. So you're also bringing that lens as a reference point to frame everything in your reality. Is this the highest integrity? Is this the highest aligned, right? So just starting to allow that transformation from within, and again, to discern, to not have emotional reactivity, right? There's a lot of emotional maturity involved. We always have to kind of be aware, is this subconscious? Is this a wounded child aspect thing? Is this a past karmic thing? Whatever. You need to keep reassessing, well, what is this before we take action on it so that you're the most clear on the most aligned and appropriate action or response. You also want to make sure that you don't over deliberate so much and just that you have analysis paralysis and you don't do anything, right? So again, it's all about that balance, balancing the factual information with your own emotional and energetic response to the situation, balancing your inner sacred masculine with your inner sacred feminine. And what will really assist at an elemental level this week is really working with the earth element and the senses. So aromatherapy, color therapy, so visually working with fire with candles, or if you can have a fireplace or a fire ritual to continue to burn away any of the anxiety, the doubt, the self negativity, and just to continue to focus on clarity, that more answers will come, right? More clear sight will come with time. And so we don't want to cause suffering mentally by reaching too much when we don't know the solution to something yet. So you may have come into awareness like, oh, this just isn't working for me anymore, but you don't know what the alternative is, you know? So you don't want to go into fear or separation consciousness just because you've got one piece of useful information and you don't have the whole piece yet. It will come, but it's up to us to hold that mastery of neutrality, to be an open and receptive vessel for the information. There's a huge energetic shift at this time of the year because now the energies are going from a more rebirth of the whole self all year, these different aspects of self. Every month, every solar cycle of each month, there's a different theme of activation, of embodiment, of rebirth, a lot of phoenix energy. And now we're kind of taking all that we have gleaned and it's going to start to come through us and start to appear in the outer world. And so that's what starts to happen with this Libra season. Libra is always all about the reflection with the other, the balancing of the scales. What's right for me? What's right for you? And so you always want to come back to balance again, where we don't self-sacrifice, right? Or do any kind of codependent or overgiving with anything, any kind of dynamic, and to allow yourself to wait and to be patient within yourself until you have the information and you know the action to take. One thing that's important to keep in mind for this whole year of this huge initiation of the Mars in the sign of Cancer energy is that our emotions are going to continue to come up of things that have been suppressed. And so you don't want to overreact to something in this now that's actually touching on something from childhood or perhaps past life. But another really important theme is that you're not going to be emotionally comfortable, super emotionally comfortable easily. It takes work. So you could feel uncomfortable with a situation with someone where you have to have a conversation. You know, you have to have what maybe in the past we would define as a confrontation, but it's not in that old paradigm, intense, combative kind of energy. It's elevating that into just straightforward and honest communication, right? Authentic voicing. And this is where the diplomacy comes in that Libra teaches us. Libra rules lawyers and laws and eloquent speaking, public speaking and writing. So it's all about mastering your communication so that there can be a constant flow of harmony in your life between yourself and all that is outside of yourself. So this is the beginning of taking all that we have worked through this entire year through ourselves and our own being and our self-love, a more internal space. Now taking that out into our outer reality and starting to see more shifts and changes with that. A great reference is the equinox activation that I put out the other day, because it goes through the 12 major aspects of the human experience so that we can continue to balance, to see what is imbalanced or perhaps we are over focusing on, or what needs more nurturing. You know, we haven't focused on enough, or we've forgotten entirely, because that can happen as we're going through programming and subconscious stuff. You can completely forget about something else, right? As you're working through a lot of these processes kind of take over because they're so deep and they're all encompassing. And so it's another really big week. And one other thing to talk about when it comes to our values and our money. So we're really talking about the planet of Venus here. So the star language or the planetary language would be that Venus, the planet Venus in the sky, has moved into the constellation of the zodiac sign of Scorpio. So it's a very deep root chakra place of I need this. You know, and so you could really feel that deep, like self-righteous, could be combative, could be defensive, could be feeling the need to convince someone why you need this or why you're worth it. And you want to split that energy so that it's not forceful, it's not pushy, it's not overtly or overly or too masculine, right? And trying to dominate someone, trying to push them and bend them to your will, essentially. We want to be really aware of this, right? And so in the zodiac, the opposite of Scorpio is Taurus. And so it's going between those energetics. We're always working with polarities to find the center. And that's what's so powerful about Libra season, is you'll ping pong from one extreme to the next, bang, 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 until you find the center. So Taurus is all about I have. So you have to own your value. And by owning your value, it's inside of you. It's a part of you. And therefore you are emanating it. You are exuding this fragrance. So you don't need to convince anybody of anything. You own it and everything lines up to that. You may have to discuss it and talk about it, but the energy is different. When you own something and you know that you are it, there's a comfort there, there's a stability there, there's a confidence there that's natural. And it just is. It's not pushing, right? It's not forceful. It's not trying to control. So you really want to find that middle point as you are revolutionizing and transforming and alchemizing all the Venusian concepts of your life: relationships, money, self-value, feeling beautiful, the beauty and the harmony in your life and in your reality and your waking reality, right? So these are all some of these subtle but really powerful themes that may come up for you this week. And I look forward to hearing, if you feel like sharing in the comments how that is supporting you. I love your comments. I appreciate you all so much. And just wanted to also share that I got some inspiration on how to offer smaller support packages that are more economically feasible as well. So in the description box, you'll see I offer these little light blast micro readings of your chart. And you have to give me your birth date and time and location. I have to have the time in order to give you the most accurate information to look at your whole sky map. But you can email me and ask a question or ask for some support to expand upon a topic, and I will look at your chart, and then I'll also channel and create a customized art piece for you, a visual image for you to work with. That's an aspect of yourself that you're developing, or a theme, or some kind of a key code. Be different for each person. It may be something sacred geometric, it may be an amazing dragon, it may be an archangelic soul aspect of you, or a galactic. I can't say because it's channeled for each person, right? It's individual. But there are details about that in the description box. And just want to thank you all so much for being here. It's so exciting to be back and to finally find a rhythm of how to be able to show up and be consistent, right? And that's the key, is how can we be consistent in our life where it matters, where we really feel like, oh, this is so important. I love doing this. So just appreciate you all so much. Wishing you an amazing, empowered week. And I will see you for next week. And we'll start to get into the solar eclipse that's coming. I believe it is next week, Wednesday. So I think it's October 2nd, but that's still kind of far away energetically. So we want to continue to work with strengthening everything that's been coming up just these last few weeks before getting into the solar fire, right? Before getting into the ring of fire of that solar eclipse, which is going to have to do more with the outer world. So we're building to that. So sending you all so much love. Have an amazing week, amazing everything, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.